Hey everybody, welcome back to my therapy office. My name is Scott Carter. I am a licensed therapist. This is where the magic happens. I specialize in working with teenagers. If you're new here, my primary specialty is teens, but I also do a lot of work in the area of parenting and teen and parent relationships. I work very hard to bring teens and parents together to have really positive and working relationships. It's kind of my specialty here. I have developed a lot of my own programming and curriculum, and frankly, it works. It's good stuff. I like to think that I really see results, but I want to talk about a very serious issue in this video. And I think we're going to see this get a lot more traction, probably, and that is the issue of teen suicide. Now, suicide in general is obviously kind of a big issue. Quite frankly, the suicide rate among males has continued to grow, teen boys especially. Here in my local area, here in Utah, it is no secret that teen suicide is a big problem. It continues to climb. Our rates of teen suicide, I believe, is approximately 2.5 times higher than the national average. And quite honestly, I have a front row seat. I've been working with teenagers for nearly 20 years. I've been working as in private practice for about 3.5 years. And in that time, I've watched the mental health of teenagers just plummet and the rates of suicide skyrocket, just absolutely spike. Professionals like myself are being forced to address this a lot more seriously. So I'm going to talk about my response and what I'm personally doing about it. And first, I'm going to back it up. I'm going to start with a little bit of a story. It's about a year ago, actually, that I saw an article published by a local newspaper. It was online. It was on their Facebook feed, and it was talking about how a local representative was creating, or he wanted to push a bill through, or some initiatives to increase or to change school curriculum with a stronger mental health focus. I sent that guy an email that very afternoon when I saw that article. I told him who I was, I told him what I do, my experience, I told him that I work in a high school. I think I forgot to mention that. I work in a local high school. I work with them. Quite honestly, I enjoy it. I like being there. They're great. I love working with the school. It really quite honestly kind of aligns with my purpose to work in the school. I help them identify the kids who are high risk, and also the kids that are typically will fall through the cracks. Because quite honestly, school teachers and school administrators and school counselors even aren't equipped to identify high-risk kids. They're not educated or trained or experienced in those areas. They're not educated or trained or experienced in advancing mental health for the kids and the populations that they work with, right? So I help them with that. I'm honestly really, really proud and happy and pleased to announce that this last year they had 0 suicides, when I think it had been close to a decade since the last time they didn't have a completed suicide in their school. During the school year, one of our local high schools that's west of where I'm at currently, they had 6 completed suicides in one school year. 6. That's a school of about 3,000 kids. 6 completed suicides, and man, they are scrambling for answers over there. They really are. I'm kind of wanting to take some of my programming over there, but I know that they're just overwhelmed and scrambling, and I'm kind of new at this. But anyways, so I told this representative what I do, that I work in a high school. I specialize in working with teenagers. I'm a therapist, and I told him that I believed that was that changing school curriculum was a less effective way to go about it. I told him that if he was smart, I didn't use those words, but I told him that it would be a better idea to take professionals like me and put them in the school to help the school identify the kids who are high risk and who are the kids that are falling through the cracks. Because the system is set up to catch like certain types of kids, and the system just does not, there's just a certain type of kid that the system does not catch, and those kids fall through the cracks. So I've been working with a high school to help those kids who might normally fall through the cracks. And we did not have any completed suicides last year. And really wanting to complete that goal, or continue that goal. I like to make it a continued objective as a school. And I talked to the principal before the school year. See if we can continue that objective through the school year. Anyway, so I emailed this representative and I told him what I thought. Surprisingly, he emailed me back like the next, or that very day, like within a few hours. I was quite surprised. I didn't know if I was going to hear back from him or not, but when he did email me back, I could tell that he was far more interested in defending his own ideas than accepting new ones. But that honestly doesn't surprise me. If folks out there watching this are anything like me, you don't have a ton of faith in politicians. Quite honestly, they're attorneys. And attorneys, I'm sorry, they're not known for their high level of ethical or moral behavior. Anyways, sorry, I tried to keep my opinions out of that, but at the time when he emailed me back, I asked myself, well, he's gonna do his thing, and I asked myself, if I was going to create a suicide program for teenagers, what would I do? How would I do it? How would I go about it? And I've created successful programming in the past, like I created a parenting class a long time ago. I created it, got it approved by my supervisor, taught it, had tons of success with it, really enjoyed it, even wrote an ebook based on it. That was several years ago. The material's a little bit outdated, but I still think it's got some good stuff in it. Anyways, so what I came up with, this is about a year ago. What I ended up coming up with is a program based around the idea of resiliency. And I believe that this is badly needed to teach teenagers how to be resilient, because they're lacking in resiliency skills. Because quite honestly, our families are lacking in resiliency skills. Now, some people don't even necessarily know what it means to be resilient. So I use this visual aid with kids. I get kids in here all the time, and when I get a new kid and I start to introduce resiliency, I take this ball and I just literally kind of do this with it. I'm like, look, see this ball? Like, I can squeeze it, I can stretch it, I can abuse it, I can be really hard on it, I can throw it really hard, and it's gonna bounce back. It's gonna retain its shape. That's what it means to be resilient, to bounce back, to be able to adapt to change and bounce back, right? So my response to the teen suicide epidemic is to teach resiliency. And so I created a lot of skills, resiliency skills. I have two sets of skills. One set of skills is for teens, and the other set of skills is for parents and the family system. Some of the things that I teach teens, I made some notes here, not taking things personally, learning how to do that. Having boundaries with social media, that's important. There's a lot of cyberbullying, and it's actually quite easy. Like, look, I'm being cyberbullied, and no, I'm not. It's done, okay? Not caring about what other people think, how to do that. Building these skills, some assertive skills, dealing with bullies. There's a lot of learning from mistakes. There are a lot of resiliency skills. Probably would have made more notes. Have such a small sticky to write them on. But with parenting and families, I focus on 4 areas. If you want more information, be sure to subscribe. But effective communication, effective problem solving, appropriate levels of involvement, and mutual respect. Okay, I'm going to be cranking out some content on this stuff because we need more resilient families. So be sure to like and subscribe. I have created a really strong core resiliency program. I teach it to teens, I teach it to parents, I teach it to families. It works. Kids love it too. Kids grasp on. They like feeling strong. They like feeling powerful. They like feeling resilient, like they're being challenged and they overcome difficulties. So that's kind of an introduction to my resiliency program, but be sure to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you can kind of learn some more about this stuff. And also on that note, if you have a family that's struggling, please dedicate yourself to maybe learning some new skills, learning how to go about things differently, letting go of what you thought might work and it doesn't work. But I'll get into that more later. If you'd like to support my nonprofit organization called the Resiliency Alliance, you can check out the link below and donate. I've got kids that need therapy and have no access to money, funds, or resources. and you can put a kid through therapy and potentially save their life if you want to donate to the Resiliency Alliance. And that's going to do it for me for now. I'm out of time. I actually have a client here in a minute. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.